Hi, today we're going to be going over Buckingham's after-fall self-rescue system. We are going to start here by discussing our training BuckEscape Lanyard pack here. So this is going to come with internal contents that are going to include 2 red straps and a green strap. The 2 red straps, you will see once I'm deploying this system, my feet will be attached to, and 1 green strap that pulls down and allows me to raise my body up to my anchor point that is on this lanyard system. You're also going to notice here I have an integrated self-rescue system. This self-rescue system will be deployed to my fall arrest lanyard, so I'm able to rescue myself and descend down to the ground in the event that I were to be ejected from a bucket. At this point, we're going to go ahead and do a demonstration and then go over how we want to inspect and repack this system for training purposes. Okay, in the event I'm ejected from the bucket, you notice that we have our after-fall self-rescue lanyard hanging above me. I've got my self-rescue kit attached to my harness. So at this point, it takes around 600 pounds of arrest forces for this lanyard and the internal components to drop below me in the event that there was some deflection in the boom and that amount of arrest force did not occur. I can go ahead and pull down on this relief system. You're going to notice a green strap and 2 red straps. I'm going to go ahead and pull down on the green strap here. Get it just about feet height. At this point, I want to go ahead and attach my feet to this ladder system. It's also important not to lift the red straps too high, because this is a one-way moving strap. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and take small strides and get myself out of suspension trauma. Now I want to get up as high to this anchor as I possibly can. So at this point, continue pulling down on my green strap, taking small steps up, sitting down in the system, pull up, step up. We'll go one more, and I'm going to get up to my anchor point. Now at this point, I can lean back to alleviate some of the pressure. I'm going to go ahead and deploy my self-rescue system that I have attached to my harness. Attaching it to this green anchor below my lanyard, and then to my rescue loops on my harness. At this point, I am connected to my self-rescue system. I can go ahead and disengage my main lanyard here. Now that I'm connected to my self-rescue and disconnected from my main lanyard, go ahead and sit down into your self-rescue system. Move your ladder straps out of the way. And at this point, a nice, easy, controlled descent to the ground. Notice this is an anti-panic descender. Coming slowly down. If I squeeze, it stops. Let go, it stops. So nice, easy, controlled descend down to the ground. At this point, we're going to go and show how to repack this system, as well as inspect our self-rescue device and inspect our training pack for training purposes. At this point, we've performed an after-fall self-rescue system. We are training, and now we have to repack our training pack here to be able to deploy this system again. So what you're going to find here, what we want to do is take our first things first. You're going to find your green anchor point here, as well as your snap hook. What I'm going to do is just center this in the middle of this Velcro pouch here. Align all my shock absorbing webbing in the center. Now you're going to basically take, you have your relief strap, your webbing here with the green web loop, and then you have your webbing with the 2 red foot loops. What I want to do here is I want to measure, doesn't have to be exact, but we want at least 8 feet below your green anchor point. So I have to readjust those red foot straps down below myself, so when this is deployed, I can get my feet into those rescue straps. So at this point here, I'm going to go ahead and take my green webbing and pull it through my friction buckle here, usually about 2 to 3 feet, and go ahead and slack out the webbing towards your red foot straps. At this point here, all we're going to do is just fold this webbing back into my pack. Does not need to be perfect. Red strap and green strap deployed into my pack here. You're going to find a snap hook, or not a snap hook, but a snap right at the top portion of your tether. We want to go ahead and insert that and snap this to the male end of that snap on the Velcro and have that tether hanging down below your snap hook. At this point, everything's packed in my bag, and I'm going to just go ahead and close up the pouch. And simple as that, your training BuckEscape is ready to be utilized. Okay, at this point, we have our self-rescue system and the rope that was deployed from my pack here. First thing we want to do here is always make sure I readjust my descender back to my snap hook on my one end, and that is just weaving this rope back through the descender itself. And we want to have this adjusted. It can go all the way up to basically this shrink tube, or just about an inch or two below it. At this point, go ahead and weave your webbing through your descender. Getting it to where you have your descender just below your snap hook here. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and give my snap hook a quick inspection here, looking for any cracks, deformation, any type of, gates not working properly. Everything looks good. Glide my hand down through my descender, looking at any type of deformation, excessive wear on the descender here, looking behind the rope channel here for any excessive wear, and then just going to go ahead and drag my finger down the portion of this rope that's been utilized, looking for any excessive abrasion, cuts, fraying. Everything looks good. At this point, just go ahead and flake this rope back into your self-rescue bag that is attached to your harness. Just flaking it in there so when this is being utilized and coming out of the bag, there are no knots or kinks in the line. At this point, rope and descender, and leave my snap hook here at the top end to make it a little bit easier accessible here. So again, I like to attach my self-rescue system to what we call our butt strap, or the cross webbing here between the two vertical straps on my back. You can attach them to the vertical straps, however you feel the easiest way is to be able to engage that bag in the pack to be able to open it and access your snap hook to utilize.